evening. It's 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 29th of July, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. Shkodra's prosecution is expected to start a legal proceeding for the explosion at a Velipoje restaurant, resulting from a leak coming from a 1,000-litre gas tank. The prosecution will investigate whether the state's technical inspectorate has conducted technical checks and whether the inspectorate has issued permission to the owner of the restaurant to install the gas tank. Shkodra's prosecution is also expected to start a legal proceeding for the owner of the restaurant, who placed the gas tank near the apartment building. According to the state's technical inspectorate, the owner, who is in a serious condition in Tirane's hospital, did not have permission for the gas tank and has never asked for permission. These facts are expected to be verified by the prosecution, which thinks that the gas tank was being kept without conditions and without security. Also, the expertise of the firefighting service is expected to reveal other details that may help the investigation. Meanwhile, the owner of the restaurant, a 55-year-old man, and his 33-year-old son are currently being treated at the burns department of Tirane's hospital. They have both second and third degree burns covering almost 50% of their bodies. Additionally, a 19-year-old girl from Kosovo who worked at the restaurant has been transported to Tirane's hospital as she had problems with her eyes due to the burns. The doctors of Shkodra's hospital sent the 19-year-old girl to Tirane's hospital in order to receive specialised treatment. Yesterday's explosion at the restaurant in Velipoje caused the injury of 4 people and struck panic amongst citizens and tourists in the area. According to the Civil Emergency Service, 8 fires have erupted in the past 24 hours across different areas of the country, including Shkodra, Elbasan, Dibra, Vlora and Gjirokastra. The firefighting teams, assisted by volunteer teams, military forces and helicopters, have been battling with the blazes. According to the Civil Emergency Service, 0.2 hectares of bushes and shrubs were burned in Shkodra, 0.1 hectares of bushes burned in Dibra's area, 0.2 hectares of shrubs and pine trees were burned in Elbasan, 3 hectares of bushes were burned in Vlora, and 1 hectare of bushes were burned in Gjirokastra's areas. The civil emergency specialists are keeping the situation under constant monitoring throughout the country because the danger of fire persists due to the hot weather. The Civil Emergency Service reiterated its appeal for citizens to call emergency phone numbers if they see any signs of fire. Albanian institutions are trying to hamper the extradition of soccer fan Ismail Morina, who back in 2014 flew a drone carrying a nationalist banner over a stadium in Serbia in a display that prompted many debates. Morina flew a large nationalist flag bearing the double-headed black Albanian eagle. The act was to incite a riot and a diplomatic incident between 2 Balkan countries. Violence interrupted the European qualifying match between Serbia and Albania. The 0-0 game was suspended after Serbian fans injured some of the Albanian players who had tried rushing a Serbian player who pulled down the banner. Now, Morina, who was arrested in Croatia, risks being extradited to Serbia. Serbian authorities issued an international arrest warrant 2 years ago for Morina, accused of flying the drone in Belgrade and causing riots during the Serbia-Albania football match. The first stance of the Court of Croatia decided in favour of extraditing Morina to Belgrade, and the case was sent to the Appellate Court. The Minister of Justice, Gazmen Bardi, has formally asked Croatian authorities not to approve the Serbian request. In his argument against extradition, Bardi stated, "The Albanian citizen, Ismail Morina, is in danger of suffering from politically motivated persecution or discrimination, which constitutes a violation of fundamental human rights." The minister argues that Serbia's request violates the criteria of European Convention on Extradition and the International Pact for Civil and Political Rights. In a letter sent to Croatian authorities, the Ministry of Justice vows to send all the facts and evidence that the extradition is a political violation. The ministry has asked for the cooperation of the Albanian Soccer Federation to make all the facts and proof available to the Croatian authorities. The ministry asks the Soccer Federation to give evidence of the inhumane behaviour of Serbian staff at the stadium towards the Albanian team. The Ministry of Justice has also asked the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to see whether there are other diplomatic ways in order to hamper the approval of Serbia's request to extradite Ismail Morina to Serbia. The Ministry of Interior has also reacted to the case. The Minister of Interior, Dritan Demirai, communicated with the Croatian ambassador to our country and has made available all the documents that prove the political intent of this case. Albania's Soccer Federation also reacted, asking the Albanian institutions to intervene within the legal framework and stop Morina's extradition. The Federation assured Morina's family that they would keep fighting to prevent his extradition, saying they are fully committed to exploiting all the institutional and diplomatic roads. The Soccer Federation says that the President of the Federation has communicated with Prime Minister Edi Rama in order to solve this issue. As everyone is planning their holidays, the traffic police are working especially hard, especially on weekends, in order to make sure that drivers respect road rules and avoid road accidents. Many drivers were penalised for not adhering to the rules. The Vice Commissioner responsible for the operational unit of the Traffic Police told an Aura News journalist that traffic police officers are equipped with radars and are set up in roads that the police consider to be important and with the highest number of vehicles in circulation. A special importance has been paid to coastal areas where the number of citizens is higher now. The Vice Commissioner says that the use of mobile phones while driving and exceeding speed limits continue to remain problematic despite newly introduced fines. Penalties such as the removal of driving licences and fines are also applied to foreign citizens, for whom the Commissioner said there will be zero tolerance. The highways continue to remain a problem because people drive at particularly high speeds. Apart from the radars, which automatically impose fines, which are then sent to the address of the driver, the traffic police have just this weekend suspended 63 driving licences for excessive speeding and a further 27 for illegal parking. Please do take care on the roads as you enjoy this holiday season. Tirane's City Hall, with the support of the UNDP and local businesses, constructed a playground for children with special needs and abilities in the Kombinat area. The new playground was inaugurated by Tirane's Mayor, Erion Velipoje, and United Nations Resident Coordinator and UNDP Resident Representative in Albania, Brian J. Williams, who also attended the opening of the playground. Velipoje emphasised that during the last 2 years, Tirane has been transformed into a friendly city for all children, including those with special needs and abilities. I am happy with the fact that our 20th park for children is designed to be a special playground because for the first time, children with special needs and abilities can play and be entertained here. In Kombinat, there is also a care centre for these children. The colours used for the playground and toys, as well as the access to the playground, have been adapted for children with special needs and abilities. It conveys the message that in Tirane, we don't turn our backs on anyone. No one should feel alone, and no one is excluded from the basics of everyday life, such as being able to play with others or attend kindergarten or school, said the Mayor, who promised that the City Hall's work for playgrounds will not stop here. We have constructed 20 playgrounds. Our plan is to make 20 more, but before we construct other playgrounds, we must also ensure we maintain these ones. For this reason, I encourage all citizens to help in maintaining the playgrounds because they are made with a lot of sacrifices, and maintenance is the only thing we can do as a sign of gratitude, added the Mayor. Mr. Velipoje also asked for the citizens' understanding about problems with heavy traffic or noise coming from the construction and implementation of the several projects being performed by the City Hall around Tirane. Commenting on the report by the National Agency of Environment, which highlighted that the air quality in the capital has improved in the last 2 years, Mr. Velipoje added that this is thanks to the efforts of Tirane's City Hall. Increasing security on beaches is of special importance, especially after the drowning of some tourists in recent days. For this reason, watchtowers have been set up on Shëngjini's beach. The responsible person at the tourism office in Shëngjini says that work is being done to increase the number of watchtowers and to put the necessary elements there in order to make them fully functional. 5 watchtowers have been set up at the beach of Shëngjini, but this is not enough as they are not covering all the areas. Increasing security for local and foreign tourists at the coastal area of Shëngjini and in the nearby beaches is a priority for Leisure City Hall. It is also closely cooperating with private operators in order to impose the necessary watchtowers and lifeguards to meet the legal obligations and to protect citizens' lives. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Alexandra, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.